Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's a Rodfather 916. You know, we are creatures of habit. A lot of us do things because other people do things. We buy the clothes that other people are buying, and we follow trends that other people are and a lot of these trends are fleeting. They're here today, and a few months later, they're gone. You know, some of us are old enough to remember pet rocks. Remember that? They were actually selling rocks and making them as pets. And that happened, I think, in the 70s or 80s. But people were buying them, just had to have them. Or, I'm really aging myself, pound puppies. People were buying collections, spending hundreds, thousands of dollars on these ugly little puppies with different names. And they would adopt them out in the whole 9 yards. But there's a troubling trend with the advent of the internet. People look at people like me and we say things and people will say, well, that's absolutely the way I'm going to live my life. But should you? When it comes to relationships, a lot of people choose based on what other people are choosing. Some of these videos of late, especially of women, young single women, are somewhat disturbing. They're based on images from shows like Love and Hip Hop and other images where a pretty face, a pretty body, if you want to date that, you date that as a cost, almost like a prostitute. So if you meet somebody on a first date, if they're not taking you to the top restaurant in the city, you shouldn't date them. Or if a man sees you and you're a beautiful woman, he should pay your bills. I'm going to offer you this, and I'm not saying that I'm right. But why would an intelligent man saddle himself with someone else's bills, making their car payments, house payments, their electrical bills, their grocery bills, when there are so many other single women who just want to be loved without those requirements? A lot of those women who are, and those testimonials on those videos, are single. They said, I'm not going to take a man who doesn't do this. What they're not saying is if they have a man. Try to, did you hear me? Have a man. Well, my beauty brings a lot to the table, but it doesn't keep him full. You know, if you want, someone was saying, a top tier man, you have to be a top tier woman. If this man has gone to college and has several degrees, he's going to look for a partner who is similar, someone he could relate to. So if you bring a pretty face, a banging body, but you have nothing in common intellectually, that's a long date. Now, some people date, I've been blessed to travel parts of the world, and there's certain communities where everybody dates sort of the same type of people. With my kids growing up, I used to tell them, I said, don't believe what I say. Believe what you see. Remember, you are a wonderful individual. You don't have to pick up the lowest hanging fruit. If you meet a man who has different babies with different women, why would you pick up that low hanging fruit? And this is true for the men. Because see, one time it's a mistake, several times it's a habit. There are men and women who have several babies with several different women. Now here's the area I want you to think about. If you are one of those children, I have a pesky fly in here that's killing me. If you're one of those children where your father has multiple children or your mom has multiple children, and you had to fight for his attention, and many times you were brokenhearted, why would you go and repeat the same thing and pick up a man that's like that, or pick up a woman that's like that? All of us have seen it, sometimes through divorce, where one child may see their dad entertaining another child while they're at home, or maybe that dad doesn't call them. If you've experienced that heartbreak, why would you do it to a new generation, to someone you brought forth? Why aren't you worthy of a man or a woman who has drive, who has a job, who is actively making their lives better, than to settle with someone just because everybody else has? Well, that's what everybody else does. You can always reach higher. You may have to expand your area of search. You may have to look outside your neighborhood. Don't listen to the trends. Don't get caught up in the little things that you think you're better than everybody else. You are a queen. You are a king. And kings are not pedestrians. They're not the same as everybody else. Expand. You want someone that's doing something, because successful people find other successful people. Someone who, for whatever reason, has low aspirations tend to find someone who has low aspirations. Is that what you want for your child? To the men, now that you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, and you want a relationship with your kids, but your kids are angry because you didn't spend time with them, here's an opportunity to make it better, is to talk to your children and say, you know what, I made a mistake. Don't do what I did. Same thing with moms. Don't do what I did. I didn't know any better. My mother did it. My aunts did it. That's what I've known. And that's why I have these different babies with different men. And I've had to struggle. I don't want you to struggle. That's not guilt or failure. That's love. So if you're an OG, you're way past the streets, and your kids are just angry with you because they're hurt. Not that they hate you, they're hurt. All of us have family members that they're different baby mamas, different baby daddies. And the children are brokenhearted because they see their father or their mother taking them out to the mall, and they're not invited. Why would you want to do that again? Give that some thought. But meanwhile, all these ladies, I'm not going to the Cheesecake Factory. Kindly drop them off and thank your stars, because this is not the beginning. This is not the end. This is the lifestyle they'll want. There will never be enough. And there's so many good men out there who are looking for a good woman. But you want to make sure that you Choose someone who's not off the ground. Now, I don't want to talk down or negatively about any man or woman. You know, we've all hit hard times. At 50 years old, I was homeless after many years of making six figures and had to start over. But you want to wait until he's fixed. He's completely repaired. He's completely renovated. She's completely renovated. Working independently for a few years before you take your truck or your trolley and connect it to that horse. Because what you do will impact, should you have children, excuse me, will impact their future. Excuse me, and generations. If there's a generational curse in your family, where there's generations of multiple children, multiple mothers and fathers, you can end it starting with you. Again, watch your friends, because some of your friends are well-meaning. Ignore the noise. You think you're better than us. You don't want to shop here. You don't like the men here in this neighborhood, you know, or you're dating somebody out your race. If that person's treating you well, they respect you, and you guys moving in the same direction, ignore the noise. Because they're going to talk about you if you pick up a man off the street. So this is something to think about. If you disagree with me, let me know. But meanwhile, this is the Rod Father 916, wishing everybody love, joy, peace, and happiness. Just because everybody else does it, you be the person who doesn't. If you haven't subscribed or not following me on YouTube, everywhere else, I'm the Rod Father 916. And I want to hear what you think. Some of you email me. Some of you can comment here. If you disagree with me, let me have it. I could be wrong. I'm a human person. I'm a human person. I'm a human being and a human person. Thanks for spending these 12, almost 13 minutes. But tell me what you think. Just because everybody else does it. Bye now.